Complexity be able to square this series back up and take it to game 3, or will EG stride on forward with a 2-0 shutout? We'll have to see. And another point I wanted to bring up is Z-Freak here. I typically love to see him on more of those playmaking kind of a heroes, whether it be the Earth Spirit or the Mirana we've seen. Last game he was under the Oracle. Is it better for Complexity to give him those kind of playmaking heroes, and do you think they might go for it here?
I think it's better for the lanes if he actually moves around. I don't know. They were doing okay in the lane last game. At the same time, the draft was focused on winning the lanes. But as long as they have more teamfight from their cores, I'm okay with whatever they give.
Yeah, obviously it's easy to say, Dakota, when you watch a game, oh, they have a very defensive lineup and they couldn't do anything. But what if it works? Like, they actually make it work. They counter gang and they were really patient and they were able to stretch the game. Then obviously we would talk about, oh, how this pick was being really successful.
What do you think about Evil Genius? It seems like this is the second game now where the first phase, it's not more about the Wisp. They only fear the Tiny. Like, that's the big problem, and they feel like is this something we'll expect from them every single game if there is a third game, let's say?
I think so. I think Beastmaster is also a very pivotal part of like the overall complexity strategy. Because every time we talk about coL, we always say they're a very team-based team. They always play around each other. They're very good at team fight. They're very good at making the big decisions. And Beastmaster, I think even Cinderin mentioned when he was on a panel, the hero just gives you so much information, allows you to make the correct and best decisions in most cases to understand what you should do. So the hero definitely is one of the heroes that makes Complexity's playstyle very, very good.
It also looks like EG are back on Radiant again with first pick, and with that first pick, they're going to be picking up what they've picked the most this patch so far, Vengeful Spirit, at least at this major. They've picked it 3 times already with a 2-1 record, and again, Complexity are going to be going for the Wisp first pick.
I think they'd run the risk of getting Drow Rangered, though, with the IO pick. I think that's something that Peter would look to do. You want them to draft heroes that they're very comfortable with, NP, IO, and both of these are still left in the pool, and both of those I think are really, really weak against a very strong push. Yep. And Drow Ranger also ensures your lanes. I don't know if they'll be able to solidify it.
It's like EG wants Complexity to pick heroes that are very good in the lane and not good in a team fight. They just want Complexity to play like that. But I've seen some of their drafts even when they have the IO, they have like Tai, they have all the team fight heroes, they have like Brewmaster sometimes. So I feel like even though they open the draft with the IO, team fight should still be the focus on what they build it up in the next few picks. So Darkseid is obviously still really good, like good in team fight, good in lane. So it's definitely a hero that fits both the departments.
Still Tide and Enigma in the pool also. If EG want to grab up one or the other. It'd been a go-to for them, typically against Wisp picks, and they'll actually go for it here and now.
Complexities turn.
This actually might mean the Darkseid has a very good chance of having a really good laning phase, depending on what type of carry. We've seen like when EG pick Enigma, they always go for, I think Klings is the most common, so they actually help the support deal with the offlaner very well, because Klings doesn't really need much support, and Enigma can just do whatever he wants, his farm, wait for his level 6 smoke and get a kill.
I didn't notice if it was banned yet or not, but typically what they like to pair along with that Klinks is going for the Faceless Void. Could it be something that EG do consider here? We'll have to see as see obviously Complexity get all very involved with their draft, Swindle very commanding with it. It looks like Faceless Void's out there, but they do ban the Klinks there.
I think the other hero that could possibly replace the Klinks position is maybe Gyro. I know we haven't seen EG use the hero at all, but we've seen a few picks yesterday. He's fairly decent in the laning phase, good team fight, and it's quite hard for Darkseid to get close up to the Gyro because of the Rocket Barrage. So that could be a pick that would strengthen their laning phase against Darkseid and be very useful in team fights as well. But it's not as strong late game compared to the other carries, obviously.
Can ask our resident gyrocopter expert here what he feels about going for the gyro and against a Wisp Darkseid already.
I think gyro can be a bit of fun. I don't know if they'll do it though, EG. I think
yeah.
I'm going to be very interested to see whether the Sven comes into in this draft. I think obviously it could be a hero that both teams could be looking at. At the same time, I'd really like to see Complexity give us another little bit of a show with the Chessie Ember Spirit. They've got the Darkseid already, they've got the Eye, they've got the global potential. Is there potential that we could see Ember Spirit come through the draft from Complexity?
Yeah, I think that when you pick Darkseid, there's 2 ways to go by. Either you pick like heroes that work really well with vacuum, or you pick heroes that work very well with the Iron Shell.
Yeah.
And definitely when you're up against Enigma jungling, when you want to pressure the lanes more, you want to use heroes that can, you know, pair very well with the Iron Shell. Apart from Ember, we have like the Tusk. I think Complexity picks a lot of Tusk as well, and it could be very useful in the laning phase. But there we go, the Void being taken out. So
Isn't it weird that they banned the Mirana? That means they're like, they don't care about the OD, but they care about the OD plus the Mirana. Isn't that
no,
strange?
I think the reason, if you look at their third and fourth bans, they're banning out Bounty, they're banning out Mirana after they pick Enigma. It's just protecting their jungling hero.
I don't think Mirana's particularly good at invading the enemy jungle though, at all.
Yeah, but at the same time, even though if you feel like he can't really invade it, yeah, obviously he can't beat the Enigma, but he can be a nuisance towards the mid laner, because you know you're not going to be able to help the mid laner so much because you have a jungler. So you want to eliminate heroes that can be so annoying like Mirana against the mid laner. So it's somewhat, even though I mentioned protecting the jungle, but it could also be protecting the mid laner more because you're being greedy.
Big question though here is, when is the right time to pull out that mid lane Jakiro here from Complexity?
Oh, you really like the hero though, Dakota. I mean,
I just like to see something
they
new.
have vacuum ice path, so
This may be the time. No, but we'll have to see what instead they put their priorities, because yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of attention towards the mid lane could be the ticket here for Complexity, being able to punish the greedy Enigma.
How come this is seems to be a matchup that we just don't see both teams touch upon the Nature's Prophet here?
I think even though it's a really good hero, probably Complexity figure out that EG wants them to go for heroes that are really good in the lanes.
Oh!
You look at what they're doing right now, like
Hello,
they are
hello.
focusing back on team fight. So they have the vacuum into upheaval and the rock. Obviously, it's really good team fight, and you have a good disable to stop the black hole from a very good distance.
Yeah.
So it's a really good pick against what EG have, and more importantly, we talk about what they need to focus team fight. So this is looking good for Complexity.
Do we know if this is a mid lane Warlock, a Z-Freak Warlock?
I remember seeing them playing on Z-Freak once. Do you guys recall? Or
I know
am
there's a
wrong?
Warlock earlier in this tournament in the hands of Alliance, which in that case it was EGM playing it in the 4 position. I'm just not sure with Complexity how they like to prioritize this and how much they want to be able to get that team fight online sooner than later.
I personally like a mid lane core Warlock, because it's like you want the hero to come online faster, and support is like a bit greedy. But obviously it's still open to option where you want to put him as support, it's still possible, or you want to put him as a core. So what do we have, Ben?
Statsman Wu?
Last game it was played by Limp in the middle lane,
Okay.
combined with Ogre, AA, Gyro, and a Swindle Melons Slordar.
I would be happy to see any of those. really.
Gyro seems good with
Yeah,
the
Fatal
Warlock,
Bonds.
with the IO, yeah, Fatal Bonds as well.
And they lost.
Okay.
Versus DC.
I mean,
Oh, oh my
generally
goodness.
these strategies are always like you want to use it only one time, so you want to catch your opponent by surprise. So, because it's like if the hero doesn't win team fights and you lose one team, it's like the game will be so difficult for you.
I think they've used it twice though. They've actually won a game with it. I'm trying to
Ah,
find
yeah.
another game.
That's nice.
Nicely done, OD. It will be an Ember coming out in the core position here for Complexity to be able to utilize that Ion Shell. We mentioned it yesterday. Ember Spirit overall not a very successful hero in the tournament, but yesterday it's found some success in the hands of Secret, and we'll see it again here for Complexity.
Yeah, but I wonder if they're actually going to do Crosswax after seeing that, because Crosswax is way better against.
Wow.
Nah, they're gonna probably going. Maybe not. It's still possible to go Crosswax with Drow. It doesn't mean that you have to go Exalt, because against Ember, it's really good to have that Tornado. You remove the Flame Guard and you remove the Iron Shell. Those are the primary damage of the first 4 heroes. You look at these 4 heroes, their damage comes from Iron Shell and Flame Guard. So these are the 2 big spells that you want to have the Crosswax Invoker deal with if you're actually going to go that route. And Ben, you called the Drow, OD called the Drow, so their laning phase would be very good as well again, this time. And they have a very fast tempo here. Like most of their heroes are very fast tempo with the Drow aura. They're going to be looking to push after they win their laning phase. And maybe even sneak a Roshan, I want to say, because they have Drow and bench. If they can actually do that, it would be really nice.
From Radiant side, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be something else. What about for Universe here? Do they get something big in team fight like the Tidehunter, which is still out there and again, or do you look for something else?
Tidehunter. Oh, they're more worried about Brood actually. But even though they have the Darkseer and the Ember, they're still worried about them. That's strange, but yeah, Tide could work really well for them. For just to strengthen their team fight.
I think first you want to see if it's a core warlock or support warlock, and then after that you decide whether or not you want more team fight or not.
Yeah, and they have last pick anyways.
I mean, if they're going all in it with the pushes, you don't feel there's any room for Universe to go, oh, we just get the Nature's Prophet out for this one.
Yeah, Prophet is really nice with the draw aura, and
It's fast paced.
and it's fast paced.
Whereas Darkseer Warlock, you want fast paced.
Yeah.
You want to hit before IO gets level 6. You want to play around the Warlock ultimate timing, and I think it would actually work
And not
really
to
well.
not to mention that it's really good in the laying phase as well against the Wisp. I think if you actually do Wisp and Warlock support, it's very hard for them to zone Prophet. So that could play to the hands of EG if they actually do that.
And with the final ban, we saw Evil Geniuses rid of the PL, so they're not certain whether or not this will be a core Warlock or not.
I just think like if they do support Warlock, it might actually be too greedy though. It might be hard to pull off. Like core Warlock seems a lot more stable for their lineup. I'm not sure. Might be wrong.
Yeah, because then you either live Wisp with pretty much nothing, and he'll be an easy pot shot there for Drow, or Warlock will take a long time to really get a powerful rock into the game. So we'll have to see what Complexity do decide to identify this Warlock with their final grab now.
Is there any reason for them to go back for the OD now that they know that it's going to be Invoker in the mid lane?
It's tough because he doesn't deal that well with push.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think they care if they pick. I don't think Evil Geniuses care if Complexity get OD.
5 seconds
It's okay in the mid lane, but Invoker plus Drow Aura, and then you're gonna get pushed down pretty early. Then
The
it's more dangerous.
Gyrocopter.
Wow, Complexity
Hey.
won this game.
Do you like this, bro? My friend, do you like the gyro here?
nice.
So Warlock is gonna be the support. Is Gyro gonna go? Gyro's gonna go mid, right?
It'll be Amber Eye mid, won't it?
They have ran Gyrocopter in the mid lane not that long ago.
Yeah, they ran it yesterday.
And a Nyx Assassin going to be coming out here. This looks to be an off-lane Universe Nyx Assassin now. So with the draft complete, let's go ahead and send it over to the arena. We have a gentleman who does love Drow Ranger a bit more than Visage does, and his partner in crime, Cinderin.
You may or may not be right, Dakota. Of course, EG do know how to tick my box, and they've actually ticked 2 of my boxes this time around. Enigma and Drow Ranger, both in the same game. Plus, we get to see a hero which Fear has been playing absolutely amazingly, the Nyx Assassin also for them.
Yeah, is this the first time Universe plays it in the tournament? Because they played on Sumail and on Fear mainly, but they play it off.
It's a very good question. It's a very, very good question. So far, man, it just has been Sumail and Swirl Spear. I have no other recollection of another game. So yeah, TZ Dro though gets to come back.
5 seconds remaining.
Obviously, when he first started playing the Drow Range, we always remember what would happen. He would play it mid, die 5 times, and would end up still winning. In fact, it was I remember Fear saying, because he cast an MLG game with me one time, and his thoughts on Dro were basically she's really good for an aura, but she's crap at everything else. So I'd be very happy if she just sat back in base and did absolutely nothing apart from give me an aura. He said that during the middle of a cast. I'm like, okay, Fear, that's absolutely wonderful.
Well, things have changed since then.
They have.
And we're into game number 2. So EG did win the first game by playing superior teamfight, both in terms of execution and draft. This game, Complexity are trying to adapt to that by getting themselves a Warlock. But they kind of seem to have the same innate problem as last game. When you say they don't have very much lockdown to force the fight on their terms, they have slight chains. And PPD, nice juke downwards.
Swindles doesn't have Surge, so he can't even get Chessie in close. Obviously, he doesn't want to. He wants to have Iron Shell instead. PPD, they are really playing with fire right now. Complexity are coming in so deep because they want to establish control over the Enigma's jungle. And Fear is going to be forced out of here. But you are right, though. Complexity, like, you look at the 2 supports, it's like, it's a Whisper support.
RTZ.
RTZ, no, he's dead. The Shadow Word should tick him down. He's salved up. Actually, no, the Tango charges. It'll let him survive.
Oh my god.
Actually,
He was so...
Yeah, he's good.
he was so focused with checking where they were warding. So he has pinged out correctly. He's pinged out both sentries that Complexity placed. He put his hero in a position where he could see some movement, but he was so focused on those wards that they just ran in on him and almost killed him next to the tower. Oh man.
That'll be a terrific start.
He stays alive though. He doesn't have the gold for a TP. Someone's gonna have to
TPD just bought one for him. So it's dropped back at base, but yeah. I suppose PPD can make that money back by just taking some farm on the bottom lane. And really what Swindle's going to do about it is consistent damage, and this is kind of like the dream lane for a Drow Ranger. You just keep your distance, you let them tick down, and you just focus on getting your space, your farm. Level 6, the primary objective. He's not going to be able to kill off this Darkseer, unless PPD gets himself a magic missile, like at the exact same time as Surge's cast. That off lane should be perfect for Swindles.
He's getting off a side pull here very nicely. PPD was not able to prevent him from doing that, and that's going to give him level 2.5 roughly.
You see how he's wanting to stay close enough so he can get the experience as well from the camp. Has to tank up a fair chunk for this. So the Universe Nyx Assassin offlane. How's this lane really meant to work? We saw Fear really showcase up against Eternal Envy just how great the Nyx Assassin is against an Ember Spirit. Obviously, because Ember is a guaranteed stun when you trigger Spike Carapace. How is he meant to try and lane this now as the Nyx? Universe has burned all of the mana of Chesty, but Z-Freak's still zoning him out. Or trying to, at least.
Well, he's still got 2 mangoes, and the hero has good base regen. And the good thing about Nyx in the offlane is that if you just get levels, it's actually fine. This hero doesn't really need that much farm compared to, say, a Darkseer, for example, to be very effective. And him already being level 3 is definitely good enough so far. The IO is focusing a lot on stacking the jungle for the gyro later. Or the Ember, depending on who they want it for. And this is just, this is definitely good enough for Universe. It's playing the lane the way it's supposed to, and yeah, sure, you can try to arrest him out with the Warlock, but we're back to the same problem. You don't have kill potential at this lane. Like, the actual lockdown is not very good. Maybe if you bring over Aya, you have a chance.
Maybe that's where your question really, like, starts to play, because at this point, it looks like it's going to be Swindles who gets the stack with the help here of Hanskin. So they're going to inject the money into the Darkseer first, but it's that timing attack which Complexity have to look for. If you don't have the control, then you move as 5 and you just say, okay, my team fight is far superior. We have mech on Darkseer, we have the cooldown over on Limp. You should have Ember Spirit with the ability to at least control. And you need Z-Freak with level 6. The Wisp is kind of just like that bottle survivor for whoever needs help. But is Complexity able to hit a sweet timing when they didn't actually control Fear? He was able to get his camps up and running. In fact, that Dire Sentry ward didn't even block the camp. It looked like it kind of should have, but it actually didn't. So Fear is just able to freely again move through this jungle. If there is one team that definitely understands this, it's Complexity.
Yep.
They push Z-Freak into the jungle all the time, and he comes out around the 6-7 minute mark with level 8 and a full mech.
Yeah, and I was saying that they were stacking for Ember or Gyro, and they end up giving all of it to the Darkseer, which goes to show what the game plan is. He was actually doing okay in the offlane, so he could have probably stayed there and got a little bit more out of it. Of course, this is way more effective for him, but, you know, then this gold, the lane is basically empty for a while, and I do think all in all, they would have got more gold from keeping him bottom and giving the stack to Gyro or Ember, but this way you speed up your timing on the mech. It's very clear that that is the #1 priority for them so they can activate their team fight. And I think it's probably a good call, because you look over at EG and they have the better greed, so if you just greed the farm and put it on your carries, you're gonna probably still come out weaker than EG will from the laning stage.
It's still the question, like, whose timing is better? Because Sumail, like, he's not really been pressured in this mid. The Gyrocopter doesn't have kill potential in this mid lane as well. So, it's just a simple, like, don't even need to get Exort. Sumail's preparing himself for when the team fight's gonna happen. And all he's got to do is just have his core swex up as far as he can in the Universe top lane. Have they got enough? Universe can trigger a mango, and with the upheaval, Universe is slowed down. This could be first blood up on top lane. Chesty, the burn will work, and Complexity, they take first blood up on the top lane. Wonderful play. They saw it coming, and you see the extra point up and upheaval of Z-Freak paying off.
And the 3rd point in Flame Guard. It's the duration, and it's especially obviously the absorb that prevents Universe from being able to break it. Yep, he stuck his nose up a bit too far, and Complexity get the first blood there.
It's not
Going
the
on the
critical
Ember.
lane
Very good.
I'm looking to see like Complexity get a kill on or control on. I guess this bottom lane right now where EG are about to take the tier 1 tower. PPD actually purposely stacked the wave and missed timing on the attacks from EG, but Swindles read it perfectly. But you're getting your level 6 up very, very quickly on this Drone Ranger. So everyone over on EG, apart from the Nyx Assassin's, about to get a huge injection of damage. Which is what makes this coSWEX even more achievable. PPD, you're really low, man. Like that's going to be so tempting for Swindles. He sees PPD at 250 life. He's got Iron Shell and Surge
He's got
up
a point
and running.
back to him. He
And
can
he
actually
actually
just kill him.
he leveled up back. PPD, well, juke it around the trees. That won't be enough. You let off the stun and has to consume the Fairy Fire. And Swindles, does he want to surge forward? He doesn't really well, he has enough mana for the surge and vac.
They might have baited Swindle to come forward here so that Fear can get in.
Yep. And Fear, well, Swindles hasn't used his surge yet. Now he will. Into the trees as far down as possible. Arteezy, Gus comes off cooldown. With the Wave of Terror, they see him, and now let the Malefice go off. And, well, goodbye, Swindles. No way to survive this one. He's still fairly tanky, as he took so long to go down, but it is still a kill on the off lane for both sides now. That's also level 6 for Arteezy.
And I'm really happy that EG chose to go for the coSWEX like you talked about. I think it's the right choice this game for them. They obviously have the Tornado against the Ember Spirit, which is incredible.
Universe.
Oh,
Hunskin. Surprise. EMP's gonna go. Hunskin's attention turned around. Oh, Universe! He goes for the double stun. The Wisp will die from the fall from the Tornado. Samael is still very low and limp. He doesn't have the mana. He can't really do anything. Samael is low. But they give him the life. He'll end up surviving. Chessie wants to come down for the rune. He'll be able to get it, even though it'll cost him a stun off Universe. The man, what a double stun from Universe and
did it double stun?
It did. I got on my screen, it did.
I think he only hit one of them. Well, regardless, the idea was really good.
I'm gonna blame the lag on my screen if it didn't. Either way. They go middle lane again. EMP, Tornado, cold Snap, limping, burned out, Warlock. Let the Shadow Word go, but how much damage have they got? Not enough when they... Okay, well there is the stun, but in comes the Ember Spirit. Where's the Searing Chains? Not enough mana, only 4 stick charges for Chessie. That would have put him up high enough.
Universe has Arcane Boots in 5 seconds. If he wants to activate this Vendetta into Arcane Stun, he can do it. He knows that Chessie doesn't have Flame Guard.
They're going top instead.
Yep.
They found Hanskin. Now Hanskin can tether himself away to... Okay, well, Samael,
Nope.
That looks like the easiest kill we've seen all series.
Oh, Chessie.
He actually... Yeah. Universe ready to go. Well, he actually... Arcane stuns. The Flame Guard did get up in time, so Chessie negates a large portion of the damage, but even with that...
But nope,
he still
Tornado! Hey!
Come on, man. Invoker was balanced, you know this.
I do think if it wasn't for Flame Guard, Samael might just be playing Exort this game. It's just that good of a counter. coSWEX Invoker ruins Ember early on. And of course they also have the Drow War, so he has more presence in lane, like you also mentioned. It's a great choice here. I'm happy to see coSWEX at once in a while, because I feel like most of the time players just autopilot over to Quas Exort, because it's what everyone else plays, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't think about the potential you have from going a different build.
It's just a good read for this game. Like, you understand complexity, you're trying to have a far superior team fight. And coSWEX is the answer to that. He may still want to get 1 point up in Exhaust sometime soon, but he's only level 8. And Samael is going to go for the Hunter. In fact, maybe this can actually bring back, like, the Phase Boots Drum Orchid build over on the Invoker. Is that worth it in this game to try and pick off, or at least maybe even take out Z-Fruit before the fight begins?
Orchid is very good this game. Top lane, Chessie, he went in way too far! Went in greedy, trying to pressure in PPD, and Universe was just sitting next to him in Vendetta.
He had the ward up. Like, there's a ward sitting on that hillside.
That's probably why he felt confident. Gave him a false feeling of safety there, seeing... I'm guessing Universe Vendetta... Yeah, he Vendetta quite a while ago. And that's a big kill. That's the second death of Chessie.
They're really, like, they're falling behind now. Like, instead of using, like, stacks to propel the Gyro or the Ember Spirit forward, now they're using them to catch up. And that's not what you want to be doing when you're looking for a big group team fight timing. But they're still going to team up again. coming to that top lane. This EG ward, the sentry from Z-Freak's too far away. So EG are aware of the rotation, and they now make the choice. Do they fight or do they dodge? Samal wants to fight. He's got himself a haste rune. He runs in. He's staring down Chesty. Now, Chesty is purposely not putting up the flame guard. He'll spirit himself away. The upheaval's going to go, but it's reveals the fact that Z-Freak is in the tree line with the Malphas and the Midnight Pulse. He'll get the golem off, but the tower's already been taken out by the Enigma. Hanscom, there's your black hole from Fear. Chesty and Swindles, they can't go anywhere. Universe will come in. Guaranteed kill over on Swindles. Limp gets a nice ulti off. Universe, will he survive? No, he will not. Complexity are able to get some rebuttal here, with Z-Freak picking up the double kill, even in death. And the relocate, they're coming forward. PPD or Samal. Samal will go in, Visto Chesty has to spirit himself forward to chase down the captain of EG. PPD, one stun in the wave of terror. They're actually going to kill Hanskin in return, thanks to the tornado and the extra damage done by PPD.
Meanwhile, we got a boy just farming Ancients. He actually wasn't even there, I think, the whole time.
Hey, it's the Fear scenario, man.
Yeah.
Keep Dro out of the fight so the aura remains.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't... Arteezy wasn't there, right? At all.
No.
Not even for the original push of the tower.
If he was, he had no influence in the fight.
Yeah.
And his TP is still on cooldown,
He
so...
is getting
cooldown,
so rich from all of this. He didn't need to contribute. EG arguably still come out on top. 3-for-3 exchange. They get the tower. They force out Golem. They trade for Black Hole, so I mean that's comparable, I guess.
Really? Complexity just upheavaled into Roshan thinking EG were going there. The hilarious thing is, they are, but it's 10 seconds after the fact. So Universe triggers up its vendetta, he knows what's going on, and with the ability, just the Soul Ring as well as just convert your conversion, they can easily have the damage to kill off Roshan, and they bring in the dominated Ogre Frost Mage. So Frost Armor as well. This is such a huge play from EG, and just proves how much Dota is a game of timing.
This is very, very big. They could probably go for the bottom tier 2 with this Aegis. Now they're going to play around Arteezy now that he has this. He's going to get his level 10 as well. Looks like he's prioritizing stats over both Gust and the Frost Arrows.
Wow.
4 points in the aura, of course. Let's see, yeah.
You'd almost expect like 3 Wraith Bands to be on the Drow Ranger when you do such a thing.
I would expect more points in Gust, maybe. I think it's a good call not getting more than 1 point in Frost Arrows in this game. It's not really, doesn't really seem that useful.
Yeah.
Against both Surge and an Ember, it's kind of, and a Wisp. But Gust is good, especially against the Ember Spirit and the Darkseer. But he evaluates that 3-second silence will be enough to bring down the target, and probably is actually right with how much damage they're outputting. This upheaval is pretty useless.
It's too shallow. Like, it actually doesn't do anything. EG had not put in any kind of position where it's
it
like,
looks cool.
That is definitely true. If you're looking for a special effects Michael Bay award, I'm fairly certain Z-Freak will be up for the Oscar. Limp. Oh, there goes your tornado again. He's got no BKB. The EMP cost that PB Sportsman deeper. It is a nice back with the rock, but the rock came too early for it. And now in comes Chansey with the spirit jump. Samal and Fear. The mech did so much work. There's already a double kill for Samal. Fear's on the run and Chansey just can't keep up. Universe comes back off cooldown. Chansey, one attack, there she blows. Universe will find the kill. Z-Freak at the tree line. Complexity have been team wiped, and nothing of value was lost. Literally nothing.
You mean for EG, right?
For EG. Yes, for EG. Probably should be more specific.
Complexity were team wiped and nothing of value was lost. All right. Yeah, this is not looking good for Complexity. They're getting 14-minute racks. EG can just take their big win here and back out, and like you said, they lost nothing. They didn't even need to Black Hole and all of that. They didn't have it ready for Fear. And that looked like it could have been really good for Swindle when he comes in for that vacuum. I think he caught 4 in the vacuum, but I believe he got mana burned at the same time. So he didn't have the wall, and the follow-up from Complexity also wasn't on point anyway.
It seemed to be like the combination is meant to be back, wall, golems drop, cooldown drops, and heavy flat cannon damage, and that's when you can see the damage coming in from someone like Chesty.
But it's just so difficult to set up.
So much damage. I agree with you. Like, how are you meant to even set that up? You can have a Nyx Assassin vendettering in behind you at any point. Like, you even have like a Ghost Walking Invoker. He could be behind you.
And the swap from PPD in that fight as well. I think they actually wanted to relocate out the gyro, but the swap got him out of position.
And if the Wisp tethers into that, then Hanskin just kills himself. He doesn't have the survivability. Earn is not enough stats to survive this. Now EG stare down the tier 2 tower. I say stare down, they'll mow through it. Complexity cannot fight this.
They don't have the Warlock Golem for another 50, and EG should know this. It's a very long cooldown. They still have Aegis.
You see Complexity trying to get whatever they can. Like fortify top lane, and they can stop Chessie. Okay, fortify. Okay, they don't fortify top lane. That could have actually bought time. Chessie wouldn't have been able to easily take out that tower and come back in. But I suppose easy or not, Arteezy, he's taken out the tier 3. He is fatally bonded to a couple of these conversions, and Swindle's going to back him a little bit deeper, but Arteezy, he doesn't see face. Now the cooldown, this is better for them, but where's the follow-up damage? It's not there now, you black hole! It keeps the Ember locked! That's worth it even for the one man. Arteezy just tanks up the rest of Complexity. He is literally a red rag to the Complexity bull. Takes it, now the Aegis triggers, and Swindles will go down. The relocate from Hanskin, it will be successful. Chessie needs to slow down this attack. He doesn't even have a single point up inside of fifth. So if you're looking for that control, he has to walk in point blank on top of Arteezy. The Gust even coming back off cooldown. Now the rock will drop. With the back into the wall. They're not finding enough damage. The Gust is then trying by the space of the double TP out Arteezy. He's successful. The Searing Chains a fraction of a second too late. And Complexity, they can't even punish EG, who just took the tier 3 tower in mid, plus the melee Rex, and the range, well, it's a blow over. Like, a stiff breeze, and that is gone.
Alright, Toby, don't look at the gold graph. How far ahead do you think EG are minute 16?
I'm going to say with the Raxus going down, 15k. How close am I?
20, I think it's not updated yet. This is probably more like 22.
No, there is the small dip back down again for Complexity. I don't know how that dip was created.
I think this is probably one of the biggest gold leads we've seen in the tournament, and it's at 17 minutes. It's absolutely insane how much EG have got out of this early game. 17
minutes, and it's the 4th round of the lower bracket as well of the major.
Yeah.
It's not even just like you think, oh, maybe it's going to be like a slightly imbalanced group stage matchup. This is EG just walking all over Complexity.
They got the draft they wanted. I favor EG's draft quite a bit, but they also executed it so well and just found the openings that they needed to. They haven't taken a single bad team fight. They know that this is the one strength of Complexity's lineup, so they've managed to get skirmishes, take a couple of towers, take the Roshan. Ultimately, like you said, the timing for that was absolutely perfect. And then when they're ready, they go for the high ground push. That fight was executed super well. And you know, if Complexity can't even win those fights, their lineup actually can't win anything.
This time Z-Freak's upheaval's a little bit more useful. But look at Arteezy's range. He picked up a Dragonlance. He's outside of range of the upheaval. The Tornado's trying to have a scout out for Z-Freak. Now they realize exactly where he is. Swindle jumps forward. There's your back. The double, triple spirits coming to Arteezy. The PPE will just swap out. Takes it in too deep. Has completely exploded. 51 seconds on the sideline. No buyback available. EG, they look like they're going to bring down the team that took a game off them during the group stage and had all the confidence coming into this series. But EG, they have snuffed it out. There is no Complexity flame left.
Oh, look at Arteezy just laying into Swindle.
It's too easy for him. Like, the range is just too much, and Swindle can't do anything about it. Look at Swindle's mana. He can't be here right now. He can't combo, because all his Orings will do is let him trigger off the mech. That's all he can do. In fact, he used it for something else. Complexity have lost too many. It looks like it's over. They're back in the face, and it is. EG will eliminate Complexity 2-0. The second game not even taking 19 minutes to complete. But still, big props to Complexity. They got a long way in this tournament. Swindles wanted to make a big statement saying that SCA Dota as well as US Dota is looking very, very good. Obviously, the teams are this far in the lower bracket, but Complexity definitely put a lot of their haters to shame right now.
Yeah, I think they exceeded most people's expectations, maybe apart from their own. I don't know where they would have placed themselves going into the tournament, but you look at this result, if